Hello! Today's video is going to show you how to create a blog using Google Blogger. We're going to use a blog for our science curriculum, but you can certainly use a blog for anything and everything. Your hobbies like cooking or sewing or reading to social studies, science, reading, math, you name it, you can use a blog. What's really cool about the blog is that it's a digital way to keep a portfolio of all of our stuff in one area. So on this blog for this year, we will create notes, import pictures, graphs, you'll create graphics and put them on your blog, and you may also even work on Google Slides and put those slides onto your blog. So we're going to do lots with this blog. We're going to make a brand new page for every single unit we do in science class. And at the end, you'll be able to see all the units we covered and all of the information that we gathered as we did each unit. So I need you right now to go ahead and pull up your internet browser. And I need you to go to www.blogger.com. And it should bring you to a page that looks like mine. And you should see an orange button that says Create Your Blog here at the center. We're going to go ahead and hit Create Your Blog. It's going to ask you to sign in to Blogger. You need to use your school Google account, so whatever ends in @highlandcusd5.org. I'm going to use my personal one because my Highland one is already set up, and I want you guys to be able to see what it looks like for you guys. So my screen will match yours, but this is my personal account. You guys are using your school account. Go ahead and hit next and type in your password. And we don't want it to save. And should bring you to a screen that looks like this. It says choose a name for your blog. This is the title that will be displayed at the top of your blog. As much as I love creativity, I'm going to have you guys name all your blogs the same thing. I'm going to have you name it your last name and then science. So my last name is Schrage, so I will name mine Schrage Science. If my last name was Book, I would name it Book Science. Okay? Or if my last name was Curtis, I would name it Curtis Science. So your last name and science. Make sure both are capitalized because you capitalize a title. When you're ready, go ahead and hit next. Next is going to ask us to create an address for our blog spot. We are going to use the exact same name we have. We're going to use Schrage, or your last name, which mine is Schrage, Science, and it's going to say .blogspot.com. Now, perfect example, mine is already created on a different account I have, so it's not going to allow me to use this blog spot. If yours is already taken with your last name and science, you can add your lunch number to the end. So add your lunch number, whatever that may be. And then hopefully it will come up as it's available. And then we're going to hit next. Your display name will be the exact same thing as your title. It will be your last name and science. My last name is Schrage, making sure I capitalize both letters because it is a title. And then when I'm done, I hit finish. You do not need to add your lunch number on this one, just for the URL. Just do your last name and science. All right, should bring you to a page that looks similar to mine. It may not be exact. This yellow and blue box you can ignore. If they bother you, you can hit exit and they'll go away, or you can leave them there. Doesn't matter either way. And what I'm going to show you is how to customize your blog to design a background, a font, a color that you like. So we're going to be working on this toolbar here on our left. The first thing you're going to go to is theme with the little paint roller. Okay, so as you can see on this page, you get to pick out your theme or the way your blog will look. We are all going to choose the same exact theme for the purposes of making it easier for us to navigate through, because then our screens will always look the same. So please choose the same theme I choose, which is going to be a travel theme, and then we can always make it more personalized by adding our own backgrounds in later. So right now everybody has this default theme, we're going to scroll down and we're going to look for the one that says travel. This says Soho, that's not what we want. This is Emporio, that's not what we want. Notable, not what we want. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going until you find travel. Right here, you see the word travel, that's what we want. I click this first one. It's going to pop up, and underneath it, it's going to say preview, customize, or apply. And we're going to hit apply. It's going to say some gadgets may become visible. You say, got it. And now we all have the same theme of travel. Scroll back to the top of your screen. You should see that your picture up here has changed to say travel. Yours should look exactly like mine. Now we're going to hit the customize button. And with this customize button, we are going to change our background image. So the easiest way to do this is to click right here where it says change image. You click on that and a little window shows up. You can certainly select a window or a background that's already on here. You just click it and you will hit done and it will apply. There's celebration with different options, entertainment, businesses. You can use any of these. Let's say you're like, I don't really like any of these. That is okay. You can also, at the very top here, upload your own image. Now, how you find an image on Google, you're going to open a separate browser by hitting the plus sign at the top here. And I'm going to go to Google. And on Google, I'm going to say, let's say I want polka dots. I'm going to say green polka dot background. Whatever you want, follow it with the word background. So if you want Buzz Lightyear, you would say Buzz Lightyear background. If you want watercolor, you would say watercolor background. Whatever kind of background you want, follow it with the word background. The only thing I do ask is that it is school appropriate, which means no tobacco or alcohol products, no violence or weapons to be used, and only appropriate school language. So please make sure it is appropriate for school since we're using this as school purposes. So I go ahead and I hit enter. I put green polka dot background. I'm going to go to images, and here's where you can select whichever one you like. Okay, so you can scroll through and find it. Now, there are some that work better than others. I don't really know the rhyme or reason as to why they work better than others. There's just some that end up working out better than others. So let's say I'm like, ooh, I like this one. You find the one you like, and you click on it. You're going to two-finger touch. Oops, I'm sorry. Two-finger touch. It's not working for me. Two-finger touch so that it opens up this little window. From this little image, or from this little window, you're going to hit Save Image As. And then you will want to name it. Yours will look a little bit different if you're on a Chromebook, but it's still going to be the Save Image button. You want to name it so that you can find it back. So I'm going to name it Green Background. And it's in my downloads. Okay, I'm going to hit Save. And now I'm ready to go back to my Blogger. I'm going to go to the top here and I'm going to hit Blogger. And I'm going to hit Select Image. And here's where I have to find it in my downloads. Again, yours may look a little different than mine if you're on a Chromebook or different device. I'm on a Mac. You find your background and you hit Open. And you're going to have to give it a second. And then you can hit Done. And as you can see, I now have a green polka dot background. Okay, so I can see exactly how this is going to look. This is what my current blog looks like. If you're like, that's not really what I wanted it to look like, you can always change it. If you get bored with it and you want to change it later, you can always change it later. So we're going to go and hit Change Image. You come back, you upload, or you find a picture you want in here. I'm going to show you one more time how to change the picture using the Upload Image button so that you know how to do it on your own. So you click Upload Image, you go back over here to Google. Let's say this time I decide I want watercolor. So I'm going to put watercolor background. And I got some really cool and interesting different choices. I'm going to scroll through and find the one I like. I've decided I really like this green watercolor. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to two-finger touch, and I'm going to hit Save Image As. Again, you want to name it something you can find it, so I'm going to put green 2. Save. And I'm going to go back to my Blogger over here up at the top, select image, and find my number 2. And hit open. And it should change. Oh, it didn't change. So maybe I hit the wrong one. Let's try again. Green 2. There we go. Open. And it should change it to now a watercolor background. Okay? So your job is to select a background that you like that is school appropriate. After this, we are going to look at some other things we can adjust. Notice that the black part of my blog is really, really fat, so you can't see much of my background. We can absolutely change that. We're going to scroll down here on this side menu bar, if you can look at me. Right now we're on background. You can hit this little arrow, and the background will go away, and you'll see your choices you have. You have background, adjust widths, layout, and advanced. We're going to go to adjust widths to change how fat the black part is. So go ahead and hit adjust widths. It's my entire blog is the black part. So I'm going to make it a little bit skinnier, and it should skinny it up for you. Now you don't want to make it way too skinny because then it's going to make things hard to read. So you do want to kind of find that happy medium where you can see a little bit of your background, but it's not too skinny. Okay, this sidebar right here is pretty fat. I can make that smaller where it says right sidebar. That's going to control that. You can make that a little skinnier and it will go onto the side. You can make that one pretty skinny because we don't really use that. Okay, now we've adjusted our widths. Now I'm going to look at some other advanced settings. We are not going to touch our layout because we already selected our travel theme layout and we like it as is. So we're going to leave our layout alone for now. We're going to go ahead and go to advanced, click the drop down. And right here, this first little box that pulls up is going to control different things on your blog. If you hit the arrow, you can see it will control page text, background, links, blog title, blog description, tabs text, tabs background, date header, post title, post background, gadgets, all kinds of stuff, okay? We're going to start very simple with our blog title. So go ahead and scroll down. It's the fourth one down. It says blog title. It's going to control this right up here where it says Shragi Science. Let's say I'm not a huge fan of how the color looks. I can come down here to theme color where it says text color, and I can choose any color I want. I can make it green. I can make it purple. Any color you would like, you can change it. Blue. I think I like the green the best, so I'm going to stick with green. You go ahead and select whichever one works best for you. Next, we are going to look at the font. You see this box up here? It says font, and it says default. If you click the drop down, you can change the font you have up at the top. There's not a ton of options, but there are a cute amount of different options. So if I want it to look a little more like cursive, or if you want it to be more fat and bold, you choose whichever font suits you. As long as you can read it, I'm happy. So go ahead and select whichever font you want now. Feel free to play around and figure out which one you like best. And I think I'm going to go with just another hand. Now notice it got a lot smaller on me. You can adjust the size too right here where it says 60. That's how big it is. You can delete 60 and I can make it 100 and it will get larger for me. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's try 80. There we go. 100 maybe was too big. Let's try 90. See if 90 works for me. There we go. I even wanted a little bigger. Let's try if we can do over 100. There you go. I just had to click off of it for it to apply. So I made it much bigger. I made mine 120. Now, depending on what font you use, you will decide what size it should be in each one. Okay? So this is how you change text color and font of your title. The other thing you can change on here is your page text. So whatever color these little words on your page is. So if I go to page text, I can pick the font I want, and I'm going to choose to go with more of a clear font on this one so it's easy to read. I'm going to choose Coming Soon. I am going to increase the size because I like things nice and big. I'm going to increase it to 30 pixels. And I had to click off of it for it to take note. Now that's pretty large, so maybe I might knock that back down to 20 and click off of it, and it should apply for me. And again, you can change the color of it. Go ahead and click the little painter, and I can make it green so that it matches my top, or I can choose a different color like blue or even gray. Okay. Last thing we're going to do for this video is we're going to come back up here to the drop down, and we're going to hit backgrounds. Now, your background, the outer one, is the one that you selected, so we're not going to touch that. The main background is the one that you see right here, this black one. And you can see that the black is chosen. Let's say you don't like the black and you want to make it white. You can make it gray. You can make it purple. You can change it to any color you want. Okay? So you can choose how much you want it. You can also choose to have it transparent, which means you can see your background through it. If you click this little knob right here, it will make it transparent. So you can choose what you want for a background. I think I'm going to go with a gray, and I'm going to make mine more transparent. And so that's how I have mine for now. If you have touched your outer background where it says color here, it will change your actual design of your of whatever you imported. So if you hit that, it's going to change that, I think. You want to just avoid touching the outer background. We don't need to touch the outer background. You just leave that one as is. We are only going to touch the main background. Okay? Now, the very last thing, and probably the most important thing to remember, is to come all the way down here at the bottom, and it says clear unsaved changes or save. We want to make sure we hit save. If you fail to hit save, it will not apply this to your blog. So we're going to hit save. And it says updated the customizer settings, so now we are good. And we are going to come back out to Blogger. This very bottom, if you go back to the left side tab, at the very bottom it says View Blog. If you click it, it will show you exactly what your blog will look like from your reader's perspective. And right now we have no posts and we have no pages, but that is okay. We have our background set. We have messed with our fonts and colors to make it customized to our liking. Okay? So that's all for today's video, and next time we'll work on adding pages and start to put some information on here. All right, till next time, guys. Thank you for watching.